Here are 5 beginner mistakes you may do in Arcane Conquest. The first one we have here is not setting a class bias. Now you can actually set this to whatever class you are. Now, in the introduction of the game, I never got told this, and even in my first video, I never got this and I had to be commented to find out about it. And you may not notice if you're playing the game for the first time, to set this to the correct class that you are. I'm an Elementalist, so I set it on Elementalist. So make sure to set that to your class, or else you may not be getting the loot that you want for your certain class. And since there's 5 classes here compared to the Dungeon Quest 3, it can be a lot harder to get the class you want if you don't have the bias. So make sure to have it on. Next up is upgrading your spells. Did you know? Literally everything here in my inventory requires an upgrade, except my amulet. So, including spells, if we go right over here into the upgrade section, and we use any spell like right here, for example this Infernal Blaze, I can upgrade this. I can upgrade spells to make them stronger. So if you haven't upgraded your spells, like you're used to Dungeon Quests, how they're defaultly just don't have upgrades, then make sure to go ahead and upgrade them. There's also an option for that, or basically it tells you every time you start a party, like right here. Next up we have here is basically trading runes or amulets, basically runes being inside the amulet, like right here, and if you trade them away, that little rune goes with it. So when you're going to go ahead and use amulets for trading, make sure the amulets right here are empty and do not have rune slots. If they do have rune slots, you gotta make sure to remove them, or you're going to lose the runes, unless you're doing a trade with those runes. And if I go ahead and accept here, those runes that were in them are now gone to the other players, so make sure to unequip them. Now for the next one is we have crazy skill points on the skill tree, like this. Now these are skill points you don't want to have. I have 3 active abilities. I have equipped the worst one of the 3. And even though you can still manage to do this without, well, even though I have horrible skill points, it's still not good, because you can be sacrificing a lot of potential points to have a lot of potential buffs to be able to do more difficult dungeons, since I'm just doing arcane difficulty right here with a nearly maxed out set. So if you want to invest on skill points, maybe find a guide for that. Let me know in the comments if you guys want one like that. Only invest in 1 active skill or 2 if you're above level 50. And make sure your skill points are well, and don't be afraid to ask questions of players who are more experienced on how to use the skill points or the skill tree correctly. Also remember, if you did an accident, remember the skill point reset is absolutely free and costs nothing, and you can do that whenever it's necessary. The final one we have here is sets like this. Yes, sets like this exist. Don't do this. Stick to 1 class. You cannot be all 5. No, just don't really. You know, just stick with the class bias and you should be able to deal with these problems and have some common sense on which gear to have. And don't be afraid to ask on the Discord. If you have set like this, then you're probably going to fail. So yeah, I don't think this is a big mistake, or basically as big as a problem in Arcane Conquest as in Dungeon Quest, but it's still somewhere that is seen occasionally. Well, there you have it. Well, here's a little secret for you. Did you notice that another YouTuber called Elite Elias was in this video? I bet you didn't find him. So maybe go check them out, maybe see if you find them. Alright, thank you so much for watching, make sure to subscribe.